Well, the Premier League is back, and it is hopefully going to be back with a bang. This is the Premier League preview, number 1 of the season so far, and it's coming off the back of a little bit of hopefully what will not be bad news, but it could be, but I'll come on to that a little bit later. So Liverpool are going to be taking on Watford, and Watford have just signed, what's his name, Andre Gray from Burnley, and I think Andre Gray is a good player, and I think they've got a pretty damn good striker there. That's, he's going to do really well for them, I think. I think he was doing well at Burnley. He's got pace, he's got a good shot on him, he's got good finishing. I think he could be a danger man, definitely. But I think if I'm going to look at the Liverpool team, and the Liverpool team does have 4 injuries in it, and those injuries do include Nathaniel Clyne, Daniel Sturridge, Adam Lallana, and Philippe Coutinho. Now, the Philippe Coutinho one is now shrouded in mystery because, according to Sky and a, quote, close family member giving them some quotes, so Coutinho has apparently handed in an official transfer request. Gutting. I was on the bus home from work when I read that notification from Sky, and my heart sank. And then I kind of got over it, because I get over things quite quickly, and I just think, okay, that's fine, no problem, we can, whatever comes, come what may, that's what happens. We've had it with Suarez, probably will happen with Coutinho, if I'm being honest with you. Liverpool moved within, apparently they've turned now and said that they haven't actually received an official one whatsoever, so they're kind of squashing this one at the moment. Multiple reporters that report on behalf of Liverpool as well are saying there has been no transfer request put in, so everything should be hunky-dory in that respect. But who knows? I'm trying to focus on the game now, but I'll wrap up with some of that transfer gossip at the end. Liverpool will still be able to field a pretty damn strong first 11, in my opinion. I think that they'll go with Mignolet in goal, because I don't see any reason why not to. He's a very good goalkeeper for us at the moment. He's consistent, and I just don't see Karius dislodging him, or in fact anybody else. So I think that's where we'll go with in goal. I think right back, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Clyne's out. He's the natural one that I would put in there. I think he's been great in pre-season. I think this is his time. He could actually knock Clyne out of the first team for quite a while, but it's a very good option to have as well. I think you'll probably see Joel Matip for sure, and I think you'll actually see Klavan, because I think Klavan's actually been a lot better than Lovren, and I'm just not a fan of Lovren, especially. I'm just not. He hasn't done anything in pre-season that makes me think you're the one that I want partner in Matip. It's just not happening for me, so I want to go with Klavan. He's maybe a bit older, but he's got more experience, and he puts in a good tackle, puts in a good shift. On left back, that one's a little bit different because we've got a good few options now, which is wonderful to have. It really is. You could see Andrew Robertson get his debut. You could see James Milner slot back into that midfield role, or you could see Alberto Moreno. Alberto Moreno's had a little bit of a resurgence in pre-season, and I think actually that could be a way to go. You could build that guy's confidence up against someone like Watford, who do have some pacey and technical players, and I'm not saying that Robertson couldn't do it, but I think it could be quite cool to give Alberto Moreno a shot, and Milner can maybe work into the midfield. Maybe not as a starter, but he certainly could do. That would be my back 5 as it is. Now we're going to move into the midfield. If I'm moving into that midfield, I'm definitely going to be looking at the likes of Jordan Henderson sitting behind Emre Can and Wijnaldum. Obviously, if we're missing Lallana and Coutinho, they can't be in that midfield. But I still think that midfield 3, you've got workhorses in there. You've got Emre Can, who if we push him forward, that could actually be very beneficial. You could see a different side to him as well. He's been linked to Juventus as well, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Please. We can't have a mass exodus of our good prospective players. I really can't. Not in the slightest. But that's my personal opinion. I think that's what the midfield will be, and I think that'll be decent. And then obviously we go into the front line, and I think that they will actually start with, you'll have Mane on the left hand side, you'll have Salah on the right hand side, and you'll have Firmino through the middle, knowing that front 3, and possibly whoever's going to be the 4th one, maybe joining them from midfield, whoever that might be, whether it's Can or Wijnaldum, maybe even Henderson, but probably not. They will switch rounds, they will switch roles and stuff like that, and it'll be hopefully quite nice and fluid for Liverpool. So that's how I think we'll line up, and I do think that Liverpool can hit the ground running with this team. I think that they'll have some good substitutions as well. they'll hopefully have Divock Origi, Solanke, who was amazing in pre-season. Maybe I would actually, see how he does as a substitute. I'd maybe like to see him as a starter. Maybe 8, 10 games in, cup games especially. I'd love to see him as a starter because I think he could be a gem of our season. I really do think so. Marco Grujic, another one in midfield that we could have an option with as well. There's going to be quite a good few options. Hopefully, quite a good strong bench as well, with maybe a couple of youngsters in there because they've been pushing in pre-season as well. Now, the result that I think that Liverpool will get for this one, I think being opening day of the season, I think that Liverpool are going to come away with a 3-1 victory. And I think that because I think Liverpool will come out on fire. I think they're going to come out like caged animals, and I'm hoping that the sheer pace and technicality of Mane and Salah will hopefully be able to tear apart that team, along with the way that Firmino can the way he can hold up a ball, even though he's not the biggest of physical presences and stuff like that. The way he can hold up a ball with his, he's got very good feet. He's very, very technical, and they all seem to link very, very well. And I think that we'll concede because it's the Liverpool way. We concede. It's just what we do. Clean sheets weren't our thing last year, so I think, I do think that we'll get a 3-1 victory out of this one. It'll be a positive start for Liverpool on the back of what is some troubling news, because I think there isn't smoke without fire when it comes to the Coutinho transfer request. I don't think that Sky would have put out a new piece of news like that without something having triggered it. Now, this whole a close family member thing and all that sort of business is a little bit iffy in respect to me. I don't know. I just don't believe it. Whether that's because I don't want to believe it and I want the guy to be staying. Is he actually injured, or does he have an injured back, as Klopp is saying, or is he just not wanting to expose him to the team and playing in the team right now? Who knows? There's all of that conjecture going around at the moment, and it's sending Twitter for Liverpool fans into a bit of a meltdown. I'm trying to stay calm for it, but I think a point I tried to make on a tweet to someone was, they were saying about how us as Liverpool fans have pretty much displayed how mentally weak we are by this little piece of news that could be confirmed, it might not be, by exploding about it and showing some raw emotion about it as well. But it's also, my point was when I replied to that was, whenever Liverpool seems to be able to look like they're going to be able to build on what was a fairly positive season, we're in the Champions League playoff, we could still be into the group stages and stuff, and that will be very positive for us. Every time we get an opportunity to do something good and progress a little bit more, build, get some more players that are going to supplement us and maybe make us a bit more of a force that we could maybe stay in the top four consistently year after year, maybe challenging as well, maybe getting a couple of trophies here or there, who knows. Every time something like that happens, we lose our best players. Luis Suarez, we lost, we got into the Champions League with him. He had a nibble on an Italian, couldn't wait for a dish, decided to actually try what an Italian actually is like, and turned out he got his move to Barcelona, so it was pretty tasty for him. I'm not saying that Coutinho is going to go and get his pearly whites all over someone's shoulder, but I mean, it's one of those things. Now, Coutinho is, in my opinion, one of our best players. At the moment, he's not that level of player like Suarez, where we lost Suarez. We lost 31, 32 goals. With Coutinho, we lose a lot of trickery. We lose a lot of those beautiful balls that he can play and stuff like that. But he's still not that level of Suarez. And I'm not saying that I don't love having Coutinho on our team. I do. I think he's fantastic. He's amazing. But it's not like when we lost Suarez, it was like the Titanic had sunk and it took us all down with it. This one, it would be difficult to get over, but what would need to happen is that Liverpool would need to get their transfer business sorted. So if they do actually go ahead and they sell Coutinho for whatever, they've already denied about 90 million euros or something like that anyway. They've already denied that, or I think the last one I was quoted like 120 million euros, 109 million pounds. If they are actually going to sell him and we get a good amount of money for him, Liverpool have absolutely no excuse to not go out there and reinvest that money, because they'll need to. The thing that you got with Coutinho is you have got a high level creative player who can spot passes, can spot good runs. He's absolutely phenomenal at doing that, and he's quite versatile either in the midfield or across the front. Maybe the front three, the left wing especially. I'm not saying he plays as a striker, don't get me wrong, but you'd have to go out and supplement that team, because if you just take that money and you put it back into the club, not only is the fan base going to be on the back of the owners, and it will probably, it's going to affect the season, it will bring negativity. You're then going to have weakened the squad ahead of us being back in the Champions League, and it's just going to be like the 14-15 season where we just grind on and we don't really do anything, and that's going to be disappointing if that happens. It's a bit of a different Premier League preview to the one that I've done previously. I completely wing these videos, I don't plan what I'm saying, it just comes out, so I hope it all makes sense. I'm positive ahead of the game. I want this Coutinho situation sorted out. I don't want it going on until like the transfer deadline day and all that business. Don't want that happening at all. Let me know what you think, either as a neutral, as an opposition fan, as another, Premier League club fan, and as a Liverpool fan. Let me know what you think of the games coming up. Are you happy to see the Premier League back? I'm goddamn sure. I know I am. It's been too long, and I'm so happy to be back doing these videos as well. There's going to be the previews and the reviews, so there's going to be quite a good couple of videos for everybody to check out week by week. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's been quite negative in some respects, but let me know your comments and thoughts in the comments box below. If you've enjoyed it, please like the video and share it around. It would help so much. You guys are legends for doing that anyway, so thank you so much for that. Subscribe if you're new around here. Thanks ever so much for watching, as always, and I'll catch you later.